Good afternoon. My name is Shelley Petit and I am Chair of the New Brunswick Coalition of Persons with Disabilities, the NBCPD. This video is for all those politicians out there that are asking for our vote in the New Brunswick election. Provincial election's about a month away. You're out there asking for our vote. Great. We're going to tell you what we're demanding in return. And here's why you have to listen. Because we are the single largest demographic in this province. We make up 35.3. Let me say that again. 35.3% of the New Brunswick population. And if you're not meeting our needs, if you're not listening to our concerns, you're not going to be elected. It's as simple as that. We are the new #1 demographic in this province, and y'all need to start meeting our demands. So, I'm going to keep it somewhat basic and straightforward. Need or demand #1 is around financial. Persons with disabilities in this province, are you ready in case you weren't aware of how little we receive? $918. And yes, I know there's a $200 supplement that's on there that's not a real wage, it's not totally attached, so they can be easily taken away if miraculously inflation goes down and prices all go back to normal. Even at that, even if it stayed, we would still be way below the poverty line. We live in legislated poverty. Shame on all involved in government for years that have allowed this to continue. Unacceptable. So financially, we want to see New Brunswick no longer be known as the #1 province for the lowest disability rates in this country. Like, come on. Well below many provinces. It needs to increase. 2002, a person in New Brunswick with a disability was getting about $544.80, I believe it was. If you put that into a database to say what would that be worth today, looking at cost of living change, looking at interest, the equivalent today is $1,584. One of these things is not like the other. It's no comparison. And since then, there have been so many studies done that are reputable, peer-reviewed studies that say it costs 30 to 40% more to live with a disability. So $1,588 is not enough. It should be 30% higher than that, which would be another $4. So it should be $2,000. $2,000, $918. I see a difference. Do you? I hope so. Immediately, we need to see that change. Second, we need to see disability within social development put into its own category. When you go to see a landlord about housing or anything like that, and as soon as they hear the word social development, we're treated like third-class citizens. First of all, it's not fair that that's happening to people on social assistance. But if we can't work because of our disability or because there's just no accessibility out there, there's nothing we can do about it, right? Someone who has lost their legs cannot just grow another pair. It doesn't work that way. And so the assistance needs to come, and we need to be in our own silo with social development workers who understand about disability. They understand invisible disabilities, they understand hearing, they understand vision, they understand mental health disabilities. They understand what it's like if it's your child with one of these disabilities and you need to help them. And they need to be able to help us with housing as well, and that's all there is to it. We need to be in our own silo that works with persons with disabilities from birth to death, whenever or whatever age that may be. The next one we demand that the government put into place training for anyone who works in a provincial institution. The lack of anti-ableism awareness it's gross. There's no other way to put it. Most provinces, if you get a paycheck from the government, from the provincial government, you have to take a new training every year. It's often online. You have to pass an online test. No pass, no pay. We are tired of hearing people say things like, you are bound to this person's bound to their wheelchair. No, you bind a book, not a person. We want to see the government lead the way and do better, because you need to be the role models, whether that's with disability awareness training or that's with hiring people with disabilities, because you still have not met your mandate there. Next one is housing. We want to see a government committed to developing universally designed, deeply affordable housing. We need housing we can maneuver in. The amount of money that the government pays out every month for home care workers for no other reason than the fact that we can't get into our kitchen or we can't get into our bedroom or out of our bed is ridiculous. And with the amount of, if we had enough properly designed, universally designed units, not everyone would be able to get rid of their home care workers, but many would be able to reduce their hours. They would be able to live with a lot more dignity, which is also, by the way, just, really good for your mental health, which then reduces the costs and strains on mental health. It's a benefit for all. Universally designed units also work well for not just persons with disabilities, but for our seniors and for our veterans. Do you know how many in Australia, within 5 years of putting in these new universally designed mandates, they have seen close to a 15% reductions in senior falls that resulted in hip and knee replacements? That might help out a little bit the hospital, just saying. So, income or financials, housing, and medically, we need to see doctors who understand and know how to diagnose and treat the various new disabilities that are coming out every year. There has to be a database, there has to be a way, and you have to stop saying, well, if it's not in this guide, this field guide, it doesn't count. If I can't move, if I can't breathe, if I can't think because of whatever, there are barriers that face me. We need to see the social definition of disability applied throughout New Brunswick, not just in a guide to make you look good, but in how you determine who gets benefits, why they get benefits, and how you're going to assist them. And that includes medically at the hospital. Stop accusing everyone of being a drug seeker and help people live a better life. Nobody woke up and said, hey, it'd be fun? I want to wake up and have a disability. There's nobody that said that today, or yesterday, nor tomorrow. But when we do wake up and say, I have a disability, we want some respect, we want some dignity, and we want to be self-sufficient. That's what we want. We need the government to stop being the number one creator of barriers against that. And if you can't do that, then you can't get our vote. Thank you.